Anything that slows down progress based on what residents are asking for is frustrating, but we are trying to remain optimistic.
City of Boise is anxiously waiting to find out what will happen to millions of dollars from the federal government, money which is currently tied up because of the Trump administration. The money helps fund the variety of city programs and initiatives, from infrastructure upgrades to making sure each young person in Boise has a place to live. Well, let's bring Abby Davis in now. Abby, when do they expect to see some answers from this?
Brian, the Government Affairs Director Kathy Grismeyer says they should get some clarity about the funding next month. That's when many of the federal agencies are expected to finish an internal review of their grants. Grismeyer says right after President Trump took office, about $22 million of the $31 million the city expected to get from the federal government for fiscal year 2025 became uncertain. Since then, that number has dwindled a bit, but she says they still have more than $12 million they're still not sure about. The city broke down what the money goes to in 3 categories: climate, housing, and public safety. Grismeyer says they're most concerned about the roughly $6 million they expected to get through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, partially because she says it's an area the state government does not typically invest in.
These federal funds are so important to make these investments to help folks in our community, and so without that money coming in and addressing these needs, I think it leaves local leaders with a lot of questions about how we'll fill the gaps.
Grismeyer says some of the money that's affected is directly tied to the president's executive orders, like an award to increase access to electric vehicle chargers. The city has reached out to Idaho's congressional delegation, Senators Jim Risch, Mike Crapo, and Representatives Russ Fulcher and Mike Simpson. Grismeyer says they were, quote, very receptive and asked the city to stay in touch. Again, this funding has only been paused or delayed. Grismeyer says nothing has been canceled yet. If you want to learn more about what's specifically at risk, Brian, we did just post a list on a detailed list on our website, ktvb.com.